So, thanks to a YouTuber named Salty Cracker, which I will be putting his channel down in the description below, I saw the Alyssa Milano video of where this actress just basically fake cries and just tries to cry a tear because of the fact that Donald Trump can actually use the funds from the Pentagon to help build this border wall. Honestly, if Salty Cracker did not manipulate, or well, not really. I shouldn't say manipulate because he didn't really make any changes to it except for adding a meme as a result of that. I would just be cringing because after all, this woman happens to be a Hollywood actress, and despite her plea about that borders are just arbitrary lines in the sand, they prefer to still keep their walls, their fences, etc., etc., etc. Funny thing how that works. Rules for thee, but not for me. Now let's get into the idea of the topic, which that was related to. Donald Trump won the Supreme Court case. Won a Supreme Court case. The Supreme Court said that the lower courts, which actually challenged Donald Trump and even issued subpoenas to prevent Donald Trump from building his border wall, they said that the lower courts cannot stop Donald Trump from using Pentagon funds to fund the wall. And this is one of the few times which I am happy for the Supreme Court. Because, well, to be honest, let's be fair. The Supreme Court sometimes does not go the way you want it to, and especially with some of the supposed mainly because of the activist judges on the panel as well for within the Supreme Court itself. And I'm glad that Donald Trump manages to finally wins this case in order to get construction going for a border wall, something that we've been needing for a long while now. Which is really, it's really sad how long this has been going on, and now we're trying to do something about it. Or well, I should rephrase that. A lot of people have been trying to do something about it, but it's the politicians in Washington, D.C. that did not do anything. Donald Trump, ever since announcing his candidacy back in 2015, was in full support of building a border wall. People said that it was impossible, that it costed money, that it wouldn't be effective because that illegal immigrants can just simply use a plane, ignoring the fact that there are still caravans of people driving through or just going through Mexico in order to try to cross into the border simply by walking through it. And yet, even now, there's still a lot of opposition. And again, I'm glad that that Trump won the Supreme Court case because this manages to finally subdue some of that opposition. There's still a major problem because a few months ago, a lot of politicians such as Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been saying that there's no crisis on the border. You're just exaggerating. Oh, Trump, ha ha ha! And then a few months later, it's a border. Oh, it's a problem. It's because of these detention centers that are concentration camps. And yet they don't see the problem. They don't see the main issue about why this crisis is going on. We're not enforcing the border as much as we should. Yes, we've been standing in the National Guard. Yes, we've been standing in the U.S. military. Yes, we've been trying to support people like ICE and Border Patrol. But nonetheless, there's a lot of these people are still finding a way in order to prevent any sort of resolution to this issue. I said before, back when I was talking about the 2020 debate, that every single candidate up on that stage raised their hand to give free healthcare to undocumented migrants. And I even heard that California even issued something as well statewide. And yet they still don't see the problem. All they see is just, oh, borders are racist. Oh, these are just innocent people. Some are. I will give them that. Some are innocent people. But here's the thing. There's a process to help get you into the United States. There are ports of entry such as consulates and embassies. 2, there are laws and procedures in order to get into the United States. Legal immigrants have been doing this for many years now. They follow the laws and the procedures, and then they eventually become citizens of the United States. And of course, they assimilate by learning about our history, our language, our culture, our values, etc., etc., etc. And yet, the Democrats do not see any of this. They're willfully ignorant about what's going on with the border. People like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez obviously believe this crazy idea that the detention centers are concentration camps. And yet she doesn't see that the reason why there's kind of an issue within these detention centers is because they're crowded. There's so many illegal immigrants that's just trying to come in to the United States. And many of them happen to be criminals. Which leads me to my other point. A lot of these illegal immigrants, the ones who happen to be innocent, are being human trafficked into the United States. Either through use of passing drugs over it through past the border, or just simply into sex slavery. Either way, that's not good. And that's part of the reason why I support the wall, because that will prevent people from coming over into the United States. Not only reduce illegal immigration, but reduce human trafficking as well, and probably even just hopefully put an end to this. It's funny to hear from Democrats saying that they want to care about the children and the people there when they're not looking into these issues whatsoever. And that is something that pisses me off. They prefer the idea of just trying to derail any solutions that come into conflict with their perception of everything, or just their own political agenda, than to actually let it to be solved. That's what they prefer to do. They're even going so far as to, again, provide incentives for illegal immigrants to come into the States. Do they not see what the problem of that is? But again, like I said before, the good news is that Donald Trump can now has the opportunity to use his Pentagon funding, or Pentagon funds, to fund the border wall. And I'm pretty sure that there will still be some opposition, like the ACLU. They want to fight this issue again, but considering the Supreme Court's ruling, it is unlikely that they will have a favorable ruling. And even if they did, by that time the fence, or at least some of the wall, will be built. So I honestly think that this is a good step forward. I really do. We can finally go about trying to fix this crisis that's been happening in our southern border. Now, and also Donald Trump will have the ability to fulfill his promise, something that the left has been trying to derail ever since he was inaugurated. I really hope that well, I'm glad that this, like I said before, I'm glad how the decision came about. But again, I'm worried more. I'm still worried about the opposition because they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to derail Donald Trump's idea of handling immigration, especially along the southern border. And so I do not believe we're going to see the last of this issue anytime soon. And this is especially the case since ever since Democrats have been criticizing Trump over him proclaiming the national emergency along their southern border, despite the legitimacy of it. Still, we have a good heading, and I really do hope that if Donald Trump gets a second term, and it's likely that he will, that the border wall will have been constructed before his term ends in 2024. My name is Naomi, and on The Dark Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share it with your friends. If you have any criticisms or issues with my videos and see a way to improve them, please either message me up above or put them down in the comment section down below. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.